Thank you for attending the Week of Kindness. Coming up next is another powerful, impactful, amazing speaker. Get your notepad out, get your pen. Let's get ready and enjoy.
Hello, everyone. I'm super excited to chat with you all today a little bit about credibility and PR. My name is Mack Abbott, and I'll be chatting with you guys on how to build credibility as a master in your industry in just 3 months. So let's jump into it. So, first, I want to give a little bit of my background. And so, I am a public relations expert, and I originally started in the entertainment world, working for celebrities like Mike Tyson, Boyz II Men, Vinny Guadagnino from Jersey Shore, and Joey Fatone from NSYNC. And then I worked in that industry for about 4 years with a PR company. And then around 2 or 3 years ago, I decided to leave and start my own thing and started focusing more on small businesses because I really feel like I can make an impact there and help businesses really help to develop and scale their brand through how the public views them. And so some of the businesses that I've worked with now are like Sotheby's Real Estate and also No Wake, which is a boating app. So, a little bit about the agenda that we're going to chat about is going to be covering three main things within public relations. So, we're going to go over what is PR, when to start PR, and how to start PR. And so, to jump right into it, let's talk about really what is public relations. And so, the Public Relations Society of America defines public relations as a strategic communication process that builds mutual beneficial relationships between organizations and their publics. And so I know that's a lot to process, but in reality, public relations is really how the public is viewing you and what is your image as a whole. And so it's through different materials that you're putting out, through the image that you're putting out, and how the public is really interpreting that. And some of the benefits of public relations are building your credibility through being in the press on a third-party resource and being able to put that on your website and say, hey, look, I was in this news outlet. Also helping with getting leads through SEO. So with certain articles or through different press releases, you can help build up your searchability through different things that you link in your press materials. And so then SEO really helps then if someone is Googling you or Googling something similar, that you're able to pop up first. And so it's a huge resource. And also public relation really helps you control your narrative. And what I mean by that is really you're now in control of some of the different materials that are being put out through press releases or collaborating with journalists and editors to help really push out what is your brand and what's your mission and how the public should view you. And so now I want to chat a little bit about the difference between public relations and advertising. So a lot of people get confused with this. And so this is a version of advertising right here. There's a brand called Casper. They're a mattress brand. And so this is, for example, in a Subway in probably New York. And so, for example, the first one says the perfect mattress for multitaskers. And then the next billboard says the perfect mattress for political animals. And then it goes down the entire wall. And so this is really great for just building a brand image as a whole. You know, people are walking around, there's hundreds and hundreds of people that go through the subway every single day. And so they're really building brand recognition and being able to see Casper. But is it really actually enticing or making their audience trust them anymore, or really encouraging them or making them do an action? Not really. It's just genuinely just giving some brand recognition. But I want to show the difference between this and then public relations. So here are a few different features that they're featured in. Like this is Entertainment Tonight, and it's the best mattress deals to shop post Prime Day, save on Casper, Nectar, and more. And so this is a little bit different. Instead of just seeing a random picture of Casper, now it's kind of giving a call to action and showing in a third-party resource. And it's showing, hey, not only is Casper sitting here going, hey, I'm great, I'm great, I'm great. Now here's a third-party resource, an entertainment outlet that is very popular, and a journalist that is trusted, Larry, to then go and talk about, hey, not only is Casper saying they're great, but we're saying Casper is great. And here are some resources to why they're great, and also an affordable brand. And so here are actually a few others. They're also Insider and in the New York Times, The Strategist. And so, yeah, so this is a different example compared to advertising to PR. So advertising is a little bit more showy, where public relations is helping develop a little bit more trust. And I have a little diagram to show the difference. And so here is actually a diagram showing the difference between advertising and PR. So usually advertising is paid where public relations either has certain paid things, but it's usually earned through different journalists and things like that. Advertising is helping to build exposure and recognition, like in those examples with Casper, where public relations is actually helping build trust and jumping to that third party validation. So it's not only them saying they're great, but someone else saying that they're great as well and why. Where with advertising, people might be a little bit more skeptical because they're less likely to trust because it's coming from the brand themselves. It's like McDonald's or Starbucks having billboards everywhere saying like, try this new meal. It's so amazing. Where everyone's like, yeah, okay, you're saying that because you are Starbucks. So of course you're going to say it's amazing. So it's understandable how people could be a little skeptical. And then another great thing when it comes to ads and the difference with PR is that ads are a little bit more usually visual, where PRs are referring to more language. And so there are usually images and media within press placements, but it's really focusing on the language and helping get the mission across. And when putting that into words, public relations is more stating, hey, this is important and why, where advertising is more just, hey, buy this product. And so now let's talk a little bit about when to actually start PR. So many people are saying, hey, this might be a great idea, but when is my brand actually ready? I've had way too many people come to me with a concept and they're just like, hey, like I want to be in Forbes. Can you get me in Forbes? And I absolutely love the mindset of wanting to get there. I do not want to discourage anybody in that sense at all. If you want to be in Forbes, put it on your vision board. I want you to make it happen. But coming to a lot of PR specialists with nothing ready, no logo, no website, no nothing, and expecting that is definitely a hard pill to swallow. But so when starting in PR, it's really important to have your brand built out and having some base materials when you're starting. So, of course, having your logo, having your website, having your mission statement, and having social media. It's really important to know like why you're doing what you're doing and being able to get that message across and what you're wanting to share. And also having website and social media is so important because when you're getting across those when you do actually get those press placements in either articles or press releases, now where are you going to push your audience? They need to be able to actually go and reach your brand. Otherwise, what's the point of sharing your mission when no one actually can get to you or who you are and get involved? It's like saying, hey, there's a really great sandwich, but not saying where the sandwich is or how to get it. And so in this case, when you actually have your website, you're able to push that audience there to then interact with you and to your socials as well. And it's really important to know your mission and who you're wanting to reach. So really understanding what is your niche, what category you're trying to fit in. Are you trying to get in more business outlets? Are you trying to focus more on entertainment? And who is your target audience? What's your age demographic? Where do they live? It's having all that in mind is going to really help you get a successful PR strategy. And this is the most important thing is to actually have a story. So many people just want to fit in a section, but there really needs to be something unique in a story for journalists to want to cover or for someone to want to actually read about your brand. And so first and foremost is making sure you have a story. And if for some reason your brand doesn't, to help kind of develop one and think more and get a little bit more creative to make sure it's enticing for readers and for journalists. So now that we've gone over what is public relations and when you should start, I want to go over some tips about how you can actually get started today. And for everyone listening today, I think a really great intro into getting involved in press is through press releases. And this would be a great and easy way for your brand to get involved and be a little bit more hands-on within your PR strategy and in the most affordable way. So I want to go over a little bit about what a press release is, and I'll read this right here. And a press release is designed to express newsworthy information about a company, product, service, event, and press releases are a self-serving marketing tool designed to keep journalists, editors, bloggers, and the public updated. So really, a press release is coming from the brand's point of view, saying, hey guys, this is what we have going on. We just launched this new product. We had just hired this new person. We have this event coming up, and it's actually written from the brand's point of view with your messaging and who you are. And then usually a press release is used to then be distributed out to the public and to journalists, meaning people will usually go and try to pitch it themselves or partner with a PR firm or a distribution service to then get it published in outlets. And so, for example, my firm works with over 200 to 400 outlets, and then it's getting published in affiliates of Fox, NBC, CBS, things like that. And so then it's getting pushed for the public to actually view it in those publications, as well as getting submitted to newsrooms. So then journalists can actually go in and view these press releases and decide, hey, is this something that I'm wanting to write about? Maybe a journalist is out scoping for different real estate agents and different updates within the season. And so they're scrolling through the real estate section and press releases in a newsroom, and they come across your release. And usually at the bottom of every release is contact information for them to then reach out to you. And then not only is that press release then used for the public and it's being distributed in all those publications, but now a journalist can actually come across and write a different and bigger piece on your press release. So that's something to keep in mind. So here is an example right here for that brand that I was telling you that we work with, No Wake. And so this is actually them announcing their business portal. So they're a brand that is like Google Maps or Waze, but for boats. And so they actually just launched this new version for the business portal where businesses can actually go on and label themselves to show up on the app. And so this is an example of a press release coming from their point of view. Hey, we just announced that we just launched this new thing. And of course, they're quoting in their website and things like that for people to be able to go and view. And so here is a base example. And then we can jump into actually what are some of the benefits. And this would be like immediate exposure to an established audience. And so a lot of these outlets that these press releases are being distributed to are actually having developed audiences that are loyal following to this outlet. And so you're being able to be placed in front of them for them to read your content, be updated on what you have going on. And with press releases, it's usually a very affordable cost within 200 to 500 with my brand. However, some other people can charge a few thousand, but it's definitely a more affordable option compared to having a PR team on retainer, because that's a way more involved option. And so this way, it's an affordable cost for you to jump in and get started with getting in the press. And then it is really important because it can actually help with building web traffic to your website. So like we were talking about, you want to be able to push your people to something that are reading this. And so now you're able to use this press outlet to then push to your website, and then inevitably and potentially leading to more sales. So being able to push to your site to then buy your product or your service. And then this is really important with SEO. And so SEO stands for search engine optimization. So when working with press releases, you usually link certain things within the release that leads to your brand or other searchable things to then push to your brand. And so, for example, maybe you want to link your website, you want to link some keywords within that release. So then when people are searching these certain things, you're the first to pop up sooner on Google. So that is the SEO benefit. And then there's also a lot of potential sharing when it comes to socials. And so if there's a really great press release or article, you could share it in your socials and then people can reshare it there. Or if it's really powerful enough, people might then go and share it themselves using hashtags or tagging the outlets, or the outlets themselves might post it on their socials as well, which is then another way for you to increase traffic. And usually when these press releases are made, they're then distributed out and they get sent to all of these outlets, including Fox, NBC, and affiliates of that. There's a slide where I'll actually show you a little bit of that more in depth. And then it's also sent to newsrooms where journalists can then go in and shuffle through and decide if they want to cover these topics and if they think this is newsworthy enough. And so not only are you guaranteeing publications in these outlets like Fox and NBC, you're also potentially getting story coverage from journalists that are looking for resources and things to write about that their editors told them that they should be focusing on. And then a big thing that a lot of people don't even realize is social media verification. And so there are a lot of coaches that we work with that happen to get a lot of copycat accounts because then they go and create these sites and are emailing their followers and clients to try to get money out of them. And it's been a huge problem recently. So press releases actually help for you to be able to get press for then you to help to get verified. Because in order to get verified, you have to be in the press to be known as a person of interest. And so when you're in certain of these sites like Digital Journal and Fox, you can then go and place that in your verification application and then can help you get that blue check mark. So then your clients are no longer getting skipped from these fake accounts. And the thing with press releases, why it's so important to keep them updated and doing it monthly or even quarterly, is because they have a limited shelf life. Some outlets will actually keep it on forever, but usually some will only keep it on for 30 to 90 days before they shuffle through to other press releases. So it's important to keep pushing out your news and keeping everyone updated. Now, I want to chat a little bit about how to write a press release. And so there is a very important template and format to kind of keep be able to hold. And it's okay to be creative and want to be a little bit different, but there are certain things that need to be in a certain order for distribution services to actually go and publish it with these outlets. And so, first and foremost, you need to be able to have a heading that is going to entice people, keep it short and sweet, but really draw in the crowd. And it's also important to have your date when it's being published for people to know if this is an event, if it's already passed, or if it's still up and running, and things like that. It's also the next section would be to have a little intro and enticing people into what is this release going to be about and really pulling them in, hooking them. And then you're going to have your body. And this is really the facts and figures of why, what's going on, what's the news, what do we need to know. And then I think it's super, super important to have a quote. I really don't think a press release is a release without a quote. And so this is really giving a fresh perspective from someone within your network or from even a review from a client to then show and emphasize on your news and what's happening. And then it's really important nowadays to try to incorporate some sort of visual for either a video or photo because who wants to just look at a giant blob of black text with absolutely no bolding or quotes or titles or videos? It's really hard to digest and read, and you want to make sure that you can stand out for your readers to make sure they're enticed and wanting to continue and learn about your brand. And then you always want to include a boilerplate. And this is a more unique thing that not many people know about. And this is really the about section or introduction to your company. And this can be the same on every release because it's just really showing like, hey, you just went through all of my news and now here's some more information if you really want to get to know us. And that can be the same, but you also want to make it a little bit fun and interesting because not only do you want to give information about your brand, but you want to make sure that people are enticed enough to continue learning about you guys. And the free resource that I'm offering today is actually a press release template. So everything we just went over and how to write it and the different tips and the benefits is all in here. When you scan it, you can just fill in the form that you can click for download my press release template. And then you'll receive an email with all this information. You can actually click and download it and rewrite it for your brand. So I'm going to leave this up for 1 second for you guys to grab. And here's a little bit more insight into, once you create those press materials, once you create that press release, what are you doing now? And usually you work with a PR company or a news service to then make sure it's getting distributed out to these different outlets. And so, for example, my brand, we have over 400 outlets that we have partnerships with, and then we can guarantee placement. So we work with affiliates of outlets like USA Today, NBC, CBS, Fox, and ABC, as well as it published directly in outlets of Digital Journal and MarketWatch. And so my brand and the service that we offer is getfeatured.co. And so we're really helping you to get featured in all those press outlets through a very easy way. And so we have some really affordable options. And once I finish through this presentation, I'll jump over to the website and show a little bit. But yeah, it's just getfeatured.co. And if you want to get started and if you want to write the press release yourself, I absolutely encourage you to and maybe get a little bit more involved in your brand and understand your messaging that way. We have options where you can write it yourself and then we'll actually distribute it for you, or we'll write it for you. Or if you're just wanting to take the free resource of learning how to write it and go ahead and contact these brands yourself, go for it. I really encourage you to get involved in some sort of way in helping bring your brand to the next level within PR. And the VIP offer, so if there's any VIPs listening right here, you're going to receive a link with my calendar for us to jump on and do a free public relations consultation. I usually charge $500 for this, and I will jump in with a client and go over their business, where their current image is at right now, where they want to go, and tips on how to actually get there through building different press releases, different contacts with journalists, how to write and develop your messaging, all that stuff. So we'll go over that if you're a VIP. So you will be getting an email from Week of Kindness with some more information about my calendar and getting started with that. And then for anybody wanting to ask any other questions that I didn't go over today or have a chance to answer, this is my email. Please reach out. If you want to send me your press release that you wrote or have any questions on, getting involved in writing a press release or getting in more press outlets, I am available and ready to go. So it is mack@baprgroup.com. And now I'm actually going to share the Get Featured site. All right, and this is our website. It is getfeatured.co once again. And so here on the front page, it goes over a little bit what I went over today about why is a press release important, how you can get found sooner on Google, getting verified, getting more traffic. And then I just want to share, we have an FAQ section with all these questions that you could possibly have an answer. You could also email me if you have any other ones. We have an in-depth section on all of our news sites. What is their monthly traffic? And what's their authority within the press space. And if you even click on the red underline, you can also even go to their sites and check them out. So there's many sites, around 400 that you can get featured on. So I encourage you to go look at that if you're interested in where we distribute these releases. We also have a blog section with any resources, maybe how to write a press release, why is it important, how to elevate on your SEO options, all that's within the blog. And then I'll show a little bit about pricing. We have a few different packages. The Premier is where you write it yourself and we'll publish it for you. And then the Classic, we will write it, but we don't include SEO and those links to help you get found in Google. Then the Deluxe, which is the $497, we do include SEO and we do write it. And all of this is getting done within 7 days, and you'll get a report back with the live links of all of your features and the publications that you're now in. But this is an affordable option if you're looking to get involved in press and getting those press releases out, but may not necessarily have the time to write and reach out to those outlets yourself. So we wanted to have an affordable option for getting involved. But of course, there is no pressure. You have the QR code to then download your own press release and work with your team and developing your message and getting that out there. And I'm so excited I got to chat with you guys today. I really hope you got some beneficial information out of this. And you have my email, which is mack@BAPR Group. And I hope you learned so much more from all the other speakers today. Thank you so much.
Wow, I hope you enjoyed that just as much as I did. Thank you so much for all of that great information. Hey, we're not done yet, so just relax. We're going to continue on with our next speaker in just a few moments.